obvious spoilers ahead for Chapter 3 of Deltarune. I'm gonna start this off asking you guys to have in mind throughout the whole video that I am not confident on anything that I'm saying. I just saw some connections that I didn't see anyone mention and I just wanted to bring it up. I'm not saying like, oh, this is 1000% true, I cracked the code. Because honestly, the way Tony Fox is so good at like proving us any of us wrong is so big and so large. I'm honestly so deeply afraid to charge head on onto an idea just to be hit on the face with a steel wall of being wrong. So like, no assuming anything, I'm just rambling here, okay? Alright, I'm gonna start talking then. When I was remembering the way I played Deltarune Chapter 3, I made some connections between RAMB and SANS that I don't think I saw anyone bring it up. RAMB is a plug that Chris and Azrael, they used to play video games in. So like maybe he was like some sort of cord that Chris and Azrael used to just play games on the computer, I don't know. And because of that, and because of how often they would play the games, RAMB felt just as important as any other toy. At the end of chapter before Tana's actual boss battles, I don't know if this happens when you do the secret battles and secret games with RAMB. He'll be there in stone form at his bar. If you interact with him, a Peepiness shows up and says how he never really belonged in this world, and inside he was already probably stone already. It's pretty much implied that Darkners can survive outside their own worlds and are able to, if they're like able to find a role to perform that fits into where they are. Like how Lancer only becomes stone at the end of the game when he wasn't able to play the games that Tana made, or how Rougues was able to like just consistently appear because he like forced himself, inserting himself into La Niña's and El Niña's relationship. I think RAMB only turned into stone when his role as a barman was truly useless, since at the end of the game no one was there to, get the bar. Or maybe it was because he stopped being perceived as important to Chris and the player at that moment. Now, a very important piece of info is that when RAMB became the barman, he jokes about, how about the usual? And, if you're a very smart cookie, or just have a good memory, you might remember that in the official Undertale Grillby's Rogue Gallery from Fangamer, it's actually official, when introduced all of Grillby's customers in the same page it talked about SANS, obviously because he is a customer, and interestingly enough, it says what he said the first time he showed up, and he said, I'll take the usual, which is a very similar phrase, The main difference from both phrases are the points of view where they said the joke. RAMB said the joke as if he was serving the customers with the usual, and SANS was being the one that is the customer and wanted to ask for the usual. And the reactions from the audience, because when SANS did the joke, everybody laughed and he was instantly accepted as one of their own. But when RAMB did the joke, no one really laughed, and eventually he never ended up fitting in by other people's. A very popular theory, too, that is connected in some way that I will explain later, is that SANS is originally from Deltarune and then moved to Undertale. That is confirmed even more by the Q&A that where people ask Papyrus where they lived before Snowdin, because if you talk to the shopkeeper in Snowdin, she says that one day the two skeletons just showed up, so they were from somewhere. And the Q&A, Papyrus says, before Snowdin? Well, that was green grass, and then, SANS stops him before he finishes his sentence. It's say the bathroom is free for him to take a shower, and then finish the Q&A just by saying, it's finished, or something like that. The only place with actual green grass, despite those, little patches that Flowey ends up spawning in, and we're in the middle of the ruins, and then at the start of the ruins, and at the end of the game, the only place with actual green grass, it's in Deltarune. And another evidence is how in SANS workshops, there is a picture that you can interact with on the drawers on the workshop. There was an update that changed the text of what you could see. Before the update was, there are photos of SANS with a lot of people you don't recognize. And then after an update, it says, a card is sticking out from the black flap of the binder. Don't forget. We know that don't forget, the phrase, is pretty much Deltarune related because of the song and a couple other things that I don't really remember right now. Also not to mention that after the update, it also said that there was a picture of 3 poorly drawn people and then with the text, "Don't forget." So I'm pretty sure it just... And nowadays it's just assumed that this update was made to like foreshadow the release of Deltarune. I think another NPC in Undertale was able to like commented about Susie and stuff like that and how you were able to meet her pretty soon. Another thing that I don't see usual on the SANS from Deltarune Connection is one that I like. It's a dialogue that he says on the True Pacifist run, where it's a battle against Azrael, where we need to like save the lost souls. And like, everyone's lines are relevant with the character's actions before they meet Frisk, the protagonist that we play. Like, Papyrus trying to be on the Royal Guard, Alphys disliking himself, Toriel being overprotective, stuff like that. But Sans lines are just kind of disjointed from his actual actions that we see in game. Almost like he's talking about things that he felt even before we've met them. Like, here are the lines, like, "Just give up, I did, why even try?" And the last line, "You'll never see him again." So this could be mostly about his lack of effort on basically trying anything like he always does, because he's always perceived as lazy. But the last one, it's kind of out of pocket, because maybe he's talking about how he'll never see the people from Deltarune's world again. Maybe he gave up on trying to go back, or I don't know, maybe it's just him talking about how we'll never see Toriel again because of the dialogue on, take care of yourself, kid, because someone really cares for you and stuff like that, but I really don't know. Also, something else to consider, I think Sans is pretty much the same person, like his Undertale self or Deltarune self, he's just the same, but it does make me wonder, like, why is Sans the only one without a counterpart in these worlds? Or maybe he does have one and we haven't seen him yet? Since it's pretty mysterious, I wouldn't be impressed if Tony himself ended up saying, like, there's multiple Sans, just like pretending that they're the same, or some stuff like that. Okay, conclusion. Sans is very well liked and instantly accepted into anywhere he goes, as if he is just as large, as if he just has this large charisma to fit in. But then, if that's the case, why even cause him to move anyways? I mean, we all think Sans is from Deltarune and moved into Undertale, but when we find him in Chapter 1, he said that he just moved there. But moved from where? Another city? Another universe? Honestly, no idea. Lastly, I want to say that all I know for sure is that the Pippings who kept talking trash about RAMB and saying that no one shed a tear for him is wrong, because I shed a tear for him, multiple even. So shut up, you flimsy little broken tart. I love RAMB. He's one of my favorite characters. I swear to God, if people start talking shit about RAMB again, I will personally... Another silly thing to consider, Sans, RAMB, it's pretty much very similar ways to pronounce their names, Sans and RAMB, but I don't think both of them are very directly correlated. I think it was just something to just, make an indirect parallel between. I don't think both of them are the same. RAMB is his own little character with his own little arc, with his own little tragedy. He's like Australian or British and whatever. Sans is pretty much American. I don't know if the phrase that RAMB says is actually supposed to be like a direct callback to Sans, or if it's supposed to mean anything. I mean, I think it is a callback, but I don't know if it was intentional from Toby, or if it was something that he forgot that he wrote from Sans, or just took direct inspiration from. I don't know if they're very related or not. I don't know if it's supposed to be that much of a deep connection, but yeah. Thanks for watching.